Floyd N. Bristol, Stockton Police Department, 1949.
I have few memories of my father, but they're all great.
I have a lot of stories passed down about my grandfather because I never got to meet him. And just hearing the stories, I'm able to be closer to him and be able to know who he was as a person. He grew up in Colorado and joined the Army in 1940 and then was transferred out here to Stockton Airfield. And while he was out here, he met my grandmother at JCPenney's. And then he met her again at a dance where her date said he wanted to leave and she was having such a great time she didn't want to leave. And my grandfather said, "Well, I'll take you home." He just failed to mention he didn't have a car. So she got to walk home with him, and she said by the time that she got home, she was already in love with him. They started dating and they were married in spring of 1942. And then he joined the Stockton Police Department in 1947 after he was discharged from the Army.
I remember the trike rides. It was a Harley Davidson, if I remember correct. There were about 4 or 5 of us would line up to get a ride on it, and before you even go in the house, he'd take us out, ride us around, up and down the street. His younger brother, who was visiting with us, he was in his teens at the time. He went on a ride along. He thought that was probably one of the greatest things that my dad ever did for him. He tells me that story every once in a while when I see him. He loved it. My dad did things like that for people. Showed him a good time.
His sister Ellen wrote about how he was this wonderful, generous guy. When she first told him about getting married for the first time, he threw a fit and tried to talk her out of it because she was too young, etc. And yet when he realized he couldn't talk her out of it, he bought her wedding dress.
I'd ask you to please rise for the presentation of the colors.
The day he died, the only thing I really remember about that day, we were at my grandmother's house, and we were in the hallway downstairs with the stairs going upstairs, and that's where I saw my mother sitting on the stairs, collapsed. The other 2 officers, I guess, that came to notify her, and then we were hustled out. The next morning, I remember sitting in the back porch. We were looking with my sister and I. I guess I was 6 and she had to be 4. And we were watching the clouds as they go by. And we were told that your dad is in heaven. And that's where we were looking for him, up there in the clouds.
And the reason we are all here today is to honor our fallen heroes, to honor those on this wall who carried that heavy responsibility and then paid the ultimate sacrifice.
The police memorial itself, what it means to me is being able to see his legacy of to protect and serve and to make a difference being carried on by the officers that came after him. It's very deeply heartfelt when they tell me thank you.
We're a law enforcement family, and I want to thank everybody out there for the job they do.